Before the video officially starts, I want to make one main point. This is not an optimized tutorial on how to rank up, but instead the route I've taken over the past 5 years. I would instead recommend taking bits and pieces from this timeline and modifying it to your needs. Now that I've made that clear, let's take a trip back to 2016. Since this video is focusing on my mechanics and not my entire Rocket League timeline, I'll try to keep the stories brief, but I can't avoid them in some areas. I originally picked up the game per recommendation of a couple friends I met in CSGO surf servers. We started playing for fun during seasons 3 through 4, and I had no clue how high the skill ceiling was until I watched RLCS season 3. After watching it, I knew I wanted to get better. Rocket League tutorials on YouTube were very broad at the time, so I started the season watching general videos on how to improve. However, this changed when I was introduced to Kaylee. I managed to get in contact with her because she graduated from the high school I was attending at the time. She gave me a list of training packs to use, emphasizing that I use the redirect pack primarily to work on my aerials. She also gave me Snasky's camera settings to use since mine were admittedly bad. I spent most of my time in training just scoring the aerials in the redirect pack, as well as working on my air dribbles in an air dribble training pack. This season was the biggest jump for me, going from Platinum 1 to Diamond 3. At the start of the season, I became comfortable consistently scoring the shots in the redirect pack, so I started holding air roll in the shots to work on my aerial control. It was extremely difficult at first, but I got pretty good at it by the end of the season. The next thing I worked on was dribbling challenge number 2. While my aerial control was getting better, my ground control was falling behind, so I spent some time catching it up. Then, RLCS Season 4 came around in November. The reason RLCS Season 4 is so significant in how I learned mechanics was this.
Now in the final minute, this was the scoreline in Game 3. Cloud9 unable to take it, but Squishy now with a daily shot, he puts it through! He's been going for this stuff all season, and he pulls it off here in the most clutch moments.
The player to invent the shot himself is able to get the delayed front flip and just destroy Method on defense. Even they have to be impressed.
After Squishy hit that shot, I started grinding ceiling shots in free play, and I was very good at them for a diamond, probably averaging almost 1 a game. Finally, I also started practicing flip resets at the end of the season because they were starting to become popular. It got to the point where I was improving much faster than the people I played with before, so I stopped playing rank with them and focused on solo queue. There wasn't too much new about this season. I just continued grinding ceiling shots and flip resets while keeping my aerial control consistent with the redirect pack. After a while of never hitting one in game, I did finally hit my first flip reset.
Flip reset?
Oh my god, I finally hit one!
I joined my first real team and was given the recommendation of obstacle course number 1. I started grinding this alongside the redirect pack to develop even better aerial car control. Similar to Season 7, Season 8 was also maintaining consistency and slowly improving through practice. Obstacle course number 2 came out, and I started using it in place of the first one. I also joined a new team at the end of the season that was a bit better than my previous one. While the past 2 seasons might seem useless to include in this type of video, a major part of good mechanics is consistency, so I thought they would be important to include. It's one thing to learn the mechanics, but it's another ordeal to stay consistent with them while also improving. And now we arrive at the second biggest improvement, Season 9. I got to the point with my aerial control that I was dominating everyone in the air in ranked. However, it wasn't enough to carry me higher. Instead, Similar to Season 6, I started grinding dribbling challenge number 2 again to work on my ground control. I stopped training aerial control as much to really focus on my ground game, and it paid off immensely. I started playing a lot more doubles and ended up finding myself in GC by the end of the season. After I hit GC, I decided to start working better as a team player. I was dominating everyone mechanically in our matches, but I knew I could do better if I started working around the team more. That being said, most of the season was mainly used to work on rotations while using free play, dribbling challenge number 2, and obstacle course number 2 to maintain the mechanics I had worked so hard to get before. Towards the end of the season, I ended up discovering ceiling shot flip resets, and I knew that I wanted to learn them. At that point, a lot of my training went into practicing them in free play. I also stopped playing a ton of solo queue ranked with the intention of trying to play with my team more, meaning I was only playing ranked on a different account. Because I was significantly overranked for my team, I started to get bored of the game. I had fallen in love with the competitive side of Rocket League, but I didn't enjoy playing with people lower ranked than me. I hit my first ceiling shot reset at DreamHack Dallas, and it reminded me of how I used to play the game. And before anyone asks, I did not actually compete at DreamHack. I just played some ranked on the computers they had set up for anyone to play between matches. I started getting on mainly for training, but I didn't have much of a drive to grind ranked. I started Season 12 by joining a new team that matched my rank, so I had found the drive to play more. I wasn't playing much rank still, but I was grinding scrimmages and tournaments with my new team. My coach was making me into more of a well-rounded player, so this season was a bit of a step back mechanically if anything. I was becoming a faster player due to harder matches, but I lost the flash that I had before due to the coaching I was getting. I was mainly grinding team drills in my spare time, with the only mechanical consistency training being free play. The team that I was on ended up disbanding, so I found myself on a worse team without a coach. I took it upon myself to regain the flashy mechanics I had before in order to help the team's lacking offense. So I spent a lot of time in free play and dribbling challenge number 2. I also discovered a self-set double touch pack that improved my reads significantly. I was starting to regain the mechanical form that I had lost. For the first time since Season 7, I started grinding ranked with people. I was playing more than I had in a while, grinding the double touch pack primarily when I wasn't playing ranked. As you can see, my routines up to this point haven't changed much. The reason they haven't changed as much is because a good routine can be modified for any skill level. I was using the same routines but making them harder for myself through implementing more air roll, forcing myself to do them faster, etc. Then, Season 15 could be viewed as another step back season, but it definitely had its benefits. I joined a team of people that were admittedly a fair bit better than me, meaning I had some catching up to do. They were much faster than me, meaning our scrims and tournaments were at speeds I had never experienced before. I had to stop trying to be flashy and solely focus on my game speed to keep up with them. This is where I saw my best competitive results, winning the Field Division 2 and placing top 48 in the second winter split for the North American RLCS. However, with me knowing I was behind in skill, it was starting to affect my mental state playing with them. I lost a lot of confidence, meaning that I wasn't able to implement any flashier mechanics even after I started to catch up with my game speed. Season 15 technically marks the end of the purpose of this video, and I'll explain why. This past spring was my second semester of college, and I got very busy. That being said, I was only getting on for scrims and tournaments exclusively for a while before I stopped getting on altogether. My team ended up disbanding, and I was focusing solely on school. Since I finished the semester, I'm back grinding the game. In order to de-rust, I've been playing tons of free play and dribbling challenge number 2, and I've recently started grinding ranked again. And that's about it, from 2016 to the present. Hopefully my initial statement makes more sense now, as there are clear areas that I would not recommend replicating. Instead, I would look at what helped me improve the most, and see if it would help you. A lot of people in my stream ask about my mechanical progression, so I wanted to lay it all out here. Hopefully this helps you, even a little bit. Obviously there are much more resources that exist today when compared to 2016, so some of my methods might be a bit outdated, but they will still work. If you want a more training-based version of this video, I linked a document in the description with the routines and training packs I used at every given point. Let me know if you enjoyed this style of video, because I'm still trying to find a style of videos to stick to. Otherwise, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.